Remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about my main issues. Now, I couldn't find my original paper where I had my main issues. I don't think it's a coincidence. The government interfered and made it harder for me to find it one way or another. So I made a quick sort of list of things that were my main issues, because I gave the original list a lot of thought and made sure that it was in order. And so the list should be more or less in order, and in order enough for me to present it. So my number one issue is matters of God. Right? Putting God first no matter what. Like I said many times, I'm willing to let everyone die in order to do God's work, or if it ever came. Like I said many times, if it ever came down to it, I'm willing to let everyone on the planet die in order to do God's work. I'm on God's side and not on the human race's side, which is in rebellion. They've accepted the mark, which is 666. It's the number of a man, or humanity's number. Humanity's number is 666. So whether you're pushing for a white supremacist humanity, like the right wing, or you're on the side of the quote-unquote people, like the left, you've accepted the mark of the beast. My second major point, and also in order to do God's work, okay, one has to be in the Royal African Falcon Martial Art Order. You have to obey God through me. And so that's not something that I could magically give up or something. I have to insist on that. Point number 2 is eugenics, right? I have to oppose eugenics no matter what. It's part of God's work. Eugenics is the self-direction of humanity. You know, it's a mix of white and Jewish and LGBT and token minority types. You know, supremacists, elitists, rich people, and their allies, their massive network of allies that's pushing the eugenic agenda. My third major issue is psychological operations. They are very satanic in nature. Psyche is said to be the consort of Eros, and the devil is called a horny devil. There's a difference between having a pure heart and making love and being a horny devil, you know, especially one who thinks that people should persecute Christ because they don't want a world where it's harder to make, you know, obnoxious and malicious porn stars, you know, reckless dating, a world where it's harder for them to play their stupid occult games, their stupid Greek society games, what have you. Point number 4 is censorship. Okay, just like with the psychological operations, it's very difficult, to say the least, to get anything done when you're being censored. But far worse than being censored is doing the devil's work in order to not be censored. Point number 5, which you might very well switch out with point number 6, is starvation. Okay, 9 million people starve to death every year, including 3 million children. That issue's up there. Point number 6 is rape. Now, because of the nature of rape and how it's this very evil idea, this very dark and pure evil idea, when you connect, for example, in Genesis 2, God says it's not good for man to be alone. Okay, how much more is it not good for Christ and society for attractive females to shun me? God said, let me make a suitable helper for him. Another translation is someone right for him. Another translation is someone who's fit for him. Even the word fit, right, has to do with appeal, is one interpretation of it. Another interpretation of it, right, it's all the above, right, mind, body, soul, spirit, has to do with who's a good fit for him. If you're the most righteous person ever lived and they're trying to get you to settle your whole life, who's a good fit for you, right? Obviously, for me, it's a very attractive female inside and out, according to what I see as attractive, not what other people try to force on me. Even the word settle has the word set in it. And so when we look at rape, right, for so many reasons, I'm right. The word rape is a plain word for pro-E, the opposite of the A, the alpha. E, I believe, was in Sumer. It's in the Mesopotamian area. I believe it's in Sumer, was an ancient symbol for the symbol temple. So, you know, they're silly, they're goofy, they're shady. It's their spirit, it's mind, body, soul, spirit, you know. It's fatty, it's wussy, it's pansy, sketchy, crazy, nutty, silly, and so on and so forth. So really quickly, the last 4 are economy, foreign policy, wars, and immigration. Now, if you think about the economy, right, it's more significant than wars because the economy is what massacres people. It's an economy that kills. Why do 9 million people starve to death every year in the world? It's the global economy and the politics that come with it, what have you. And foreign policy, right? People in other countries are in a lot worse shape than people in America. And people who say America first they're like racist scum. These are the same people who are more likely to say their race first. Why? Because they're looking at things in terms of what is in close proximity to them, what affects them, not in terms of what's universally fair, just, and right. So they're basically, it's basically pushed mostly by white supremacists in America. They're mostly conservatives, what have you. A lot of leftists have immigrant families, and it's easier for them to see why the argument is stupid. But almost all of them don't truly appreciate how evil and stupid it is. Okay? Is it more important to make sure that you can afford, a fancy purse, or to feed some child who's starving to death? I mean, this isn't rocket science here. Even as Americans are scraping by, there's a difference between scraping by and starving to death. People eating dirt and stuff like that in order to survive, and they die of a hunger-related issue as a result. Don't you think that's a little bit more pressing than people who live in the wealthiest country in the world, who refuse to stand up against their wicked government and come into controlled opposition roles, and as a result, they're hungry as a result? Not the nations that are far superior to. It's not the American citizen's job to give the government a PR lift, or the Congress, or its community, or his nation. Okay? Respect is earned. You know what you call someone who assigns respect unfairly as a matter of convenience? A coward and hypocrite. That's simple. Now, I made a list of things that bother me the most. I'm not going to be able to go over this, or bother me the most growing up. I looked at that way a little bit more than what's currently bothering me. But it's still there, and they all have to do with people not being serious about being moral. And the thing that bothered me the most was romantic injustice. Remember, God is love. What is the first thing that God did after He created man? He created a suitable helper for him. So what offends God the most? Things that are related to, going after love, going after romance, things that are related to crushing or trying to stop the spirit, which cannot be crushed or stopped, not where it matters most, the spirit of love.